people waiting here. No, Quebec's one of my, I mean, Montreal's one of my favorite cities. There's so much energy.
Now, are we going to see other people's videos as well?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, you see their faces. So I'm letting them in right now. So there are only two. So there might be more joining us. Okay. We have the gentleman from Bermuda. That's nice.
All right.
He was on the earlier one.
Hello.
Hi, Cordell. Welcome again.
Hi, Cordell.
Hi, Cordell.
Then we have
Good
Enrique.
evening.
We can hear you. Are you're in Bermuda, right?
That is correct.
Oh, okay. That's a place I've never been to, Bermuda. One of these days when we can travel again, I visit you guys. You know?
Our borders are open
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
since July.
We should do a session about Bermuda, you know, because many
Sure.
people would be interested. Let me know. Just send
Sure,
me
be
an
happy to
email.
do
We
that.
can set it. We can still set it up for the launch events. You know, we have a few spots. So.
I will do that.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay. And Rick, where are you from?
I think his audio is connecting.
Oh, okay. It's connecting. Yeah, yeah. And then we have someone else coming in, Hakan. So we give it like a minute and then we can start. Okay. Okay, we got Hakan. Where are you calling from, Hakan? I think he doesn't hear me, but that's fine. So, okay, so let's, I'm going to mute everyone and then you can unmute yourself when you start. And so we keep the background noise out. Give me 1 second. Good morning or good evening or good night, everyone. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz and I'm joining you from livestream.travel, eTurbo News in Honolulu, Hawaii. Today, we're celebrating the launch for World Tourism Network. World Tourism Network is a new initiative and it emerged out of the rebuilding.travel discussion we had ongoing ever since ITB trade show in Berlin since March 8th. And World Tourism Network is to structure rebuilding.travel, continue this conversation, hopefully also beyond COVID-19 and the situation we currently have. I'm happy to say we have currently a little bit more than 1,000 members in the travel and tourism industry in 124 countries. So we're really growing. And it's an organization what is built from the bottom up, not from the top down. So similar to SCOL, and I know our guest today is very active in the SCOL organization, our goal is really to have local chapters and really these chapters run the organization. We as a global organization can help with the support and back support of helping local initiatives. And that's really how, you know, we hopefully envision to operate within the tourism network. If you haven't joined us yet, just go to wtn.travel and you find the join link. Today, we welcome visitors live on this event, and we're going to start in just a minute or so. And we also welcome visitors on various social media networks, including eTurbo News. Also, you see us on all the eTurbo News websites, live stream, and it will be archived. And we're also going to repeat all launch events sporadically 24/7 between now and the end of December. If you are a member and you have an interesting subject you wanted to let other members in the world know, just contact us. Just go to wtn.travel, click on contact, let us know, and we may be able to still get you. Our last launch event will be on December 30th, and this will be a very special event because we're celebrating 100 years of getting rid of the Spanish flu. And that's 100 years, and we're hoping this could be the end of COVID in the current situation where we're starting with a new reality and with a new and better 2021. And we'll be joined by tour guides from all over the world. So that's an event you don't want to miss. But there are many other events in between. Today, we have two more one from Nigeria in about 2 hours. And then we have Deepak Joshi. He was the former CEO of the Nepal Tourism Board, and he's bringing a panel together from Bangladesh, from Bhutan, India, and Nepal. That'll be very interesting tonight. And then we go on tomorrow with other very exciting panels, also with one panel about the aviation industry. We have one of the top experts in aviation, Vijay from Singapore, joining us. He was a VP for Etihad Airways for many years. And if you wanted to look what it is, just go to wtn.travel and click on the lounge event link in the menu bar or on the blue banner, and you would see and be able to register. Everything is free. We don't charge anyone to be on this event. And if you're a member and you have something to contribute, it's also a good way to get attention to your business. So without further delay, I wanted to welcome an old friend who is in Burlington, joining us from Burlington in Ontario, in Canada. And I talked to him just a minute ago. He operates the Courtyard for Marriott Hotel in Burlington. Burlington is a great location between Toronto and Niagara Falls, but he can explain more. And I'm so sorry, he's with a very nice young lady, and I don't really know what her name is, but I give the microphone to you guys so you can take over from here. Please unmute yourself. There we go.
Hey, it's Frank Wismake. I'm the twice president of Skull Toronto North and Skull Hamilton Niagara. Been involved since 1998, where we organized the Skull Bucharest Club. So I've been in 32 countries so far, traveled and semi-retired and decided to build this hotel. It was a parking lot next to the convention center, and so with the owners of the convention center and with the Marriott Hotel and another developer, we built this beautiful first-class upscale Courtyard Marriott. I'm involved locally with the Burlington area and Oakville because we are right on the border and in a park-like setting, and be welcoming people from all over the world in good old days. But now the borders are closed and we are a little bit struggling. So I'm going to pass my colleague, Roseanne, who is the new generation, to explain all the details, what we're doing. And go ahead, Roseanne.
Thank you, Frank. So for anyone who doesn't know me, probably all of you, my name is Roseanne. I'm the sales and marketing manager here at Courtyard by Marriott in Burlington. And today I'm joining Frank to talk a little more about our hotel and then what Marriott and Courtyard is doing in general during this time and how they've transformed and redefined their strategy for the year during these really challenging times. So thank you everyone for joining in today. We really appreciate having people on here taking a listen. And I'm going to start with our hotel, and then I'll go through the general idea of what Marriott's doing. For our hotel, we have had to transition a lot of different areas. So we were primarily a corporate hotel. We began with corporate travelers coming. We were selling out last year, and then very obviously things changed drastically. And we have become more of a leisure market right now. So we're trying to find locals and having people who are moving their homes and staying here, or whether they want to just go out for a staycation or experience an escape. We are what we're doing with our rooms is we're doing 24 hours unoccupied after a guest checks out, and before a new guest checks in, they're thoroughly cleaned and disinfected. So it's adding that comfort for guests, knowing that we are taking precautionary measures. We have hand sanitizing stations around the hotel, and then wipes in the rooms. We have plexiglass, anything you can think of in terms of PPE, we have a plethora of it. And on top of that, we do have one of the best properties here in the area. We recently just won on Toronto Star Diamond Award, and on Burlington Post and Beaver's Choice. We won platinum and diamond, and it's an example of what we have done and how hard we've worked for this hotel. It's a new hotel, it's modern, it has all the guest rooms have Netflix access, which is the big seller. And everything is comfortable with Paul Mitchell Essentials, and we have meeting spaces in the convention center right beside us. And I can keep going on and on about what we can offer, but I will show you a video right now just to give you an idea of what we have here at our property. I'm just going to share my screen. Now we've just, if you want to follow us on all our social media channels, it's Courtyard by Marriott, Burlington, Ontario. We have anything you can think of. We have Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and we are posting weekly, and we are going to begin posting weekly interviews with other companies and associations, so that we can not only just offer hospitality advice, but also bring in different industries together. So definitely follow this page to get more information about that. Right here is the video, and I'm just going to play it and then come back to you.
I like your bar classic with the twist. What's the twist? The drink or the atmosphere?
Expertise.
Okay. Oh, great. Pool. Pool is the best in a hotel. Wow, that looks good.
Have the face.
Perfect.
Reconnect to you guys.
There we go.
Okay. All right.
She done a good job, didn't she?
So that's just a short video. We really appreciate you watching that. I know it's not as enticing to watch one little hotel from all over the world, but it is. I hope it does give you a little idea of how tourism is changing. If you did notice, the hours are changed. We are on limited hours for our bistro restaurant, but we did decide to keep it open. That's useful for travelers who are still essential and need to go to different places. And for Marriott in general, as you may or may not know, Marriott has 7,500 properties spanning all over the world under 30 leading brands and 132 countries. It's one of the largest hospitality companies. And us being a part of it, a little P of it, we already are so proud to be part of it, especially during this time, because there's so many new campaigns out, like the holiday season campaign. This year has challenged how we all think of the holiday season, and Marriott's come out with a campaign that will allow us to anticipate the escape and looking forward to when we can travel and when we will get back to the normal. I don't like to even say the new normal because we don't know what that is.
Never gonna be normal.
But but it's having to be able to understand what we're in and then knowing how to change, because that's just how life works. We're going to keep changing, and we're just going to keep having to adapt with what's there. It's funny, I actually kind of laughed because you said 100 years of free of the the Spanish flu, and now we're in a different area. And we'll always be celebrating something. So that's just a little bit of what Marriott's doing. They've been supporting us a lot, and we are just very much looking forward to having travelers when the time comes and showcasing what our property has to offer. We are very close to Toronto, very close to Niagara Falls, and the perfect in between. And we're right off the highway, but we're far enough that we're not getting all the sound from the highway, like the trucks passing by. And then right beside the Bronte Creek Provincial Park, which is a beautiful park that's open for hiking and family and walks. So that's a great opportunity. If you do get the chance to come visit us, we will give you the warmest welcome. I'm going to write all your names down. You're going to be the VIPs of our property.
We have 1,000 already, so 1,000
okay.
names.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. And available every Wednesday, Marriott International, they have this new Bonvoy Escapes. So for Marriott Bonvoy members, you can save 25% off and 20% off on non-members to stay at hotels. And quite frankly, hotels, they have to be 100% clean. And it's not only for the guests, it's for the staff, it's for the reputation. We need to be, so I personally think we're cleaner than most houses. We have to be. And so we're very confident in that. And we are one out of 34 Canada Courtyard properties. And I think today, actually, we lay at 10th out of 1,182 properties in America. So we're very proud of that. And I'm going to let Frank finish the presentation off for us soon. But before we do that, I want to be a little more interactive if you're open to it. If whoever is here on the call can possibly introduce themselves and tell us what country you're from and perhaps a company, and then we'd be able to get a chance of how this has benefited you and if you had any questions.
Yeah, so the floor is open. Like always, we're trying to keep it interactive.
Okay. I got a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Tim Anderson from Calgary, so not so far away.
Oh, okay.
When you mentioned
one of my colleagues, I think so.
Yeah, no, exactly. You're right. Yeah, what a great organization. Quick question. You mentioned you're a corporate hotel. Now, do you mean your corporate ownership, or you mean you're designed for corporate travel?
Designed for corporate travel. Normally, we get a lot of people coming in from the States.
Not this time.
Usually.
Right.
We miss them.
Thanks.
But we get few from Calgary and keep sending them
We
here.
do, we do.
No, the problem we're sending them from Calgary is because we've lost so much employment. People are running back and going home.
I don't know if you remember in 1982, I was at the Blackfoot Inn. I went out there for Sheftals to renovate, supposed to change it to Ramada, but didn't happen.
Ah, really? So you know Scott Warner?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll see you at the big Skull event coming up. Thanks very much.
No, thank you. And so your hotel, is it located, you said, is it, if I go to the Falls, is that a place to stay or are you too far away?
No, we are about 45 minutes away. We are between Toronto and Niagara Falls. What many people do, they stay with us because Toronto is about 25, 30 minutes. Niagara Falls is 45, 50 minutes. Depends how fast you're driving. So you don't have to check out from one place and check in other place. This way you take a drive or to Toronto. The GO train is not far, a couple minutes from us here. Yeah, 5 minutes. And so lots of people stay with us. And the rates are more reasonable, free parking, and much safer to stay here than in downtown Toronto.
Right. Now going back in general to your area in Canada, and we've heard, and we're all of course fighting, and the number one subject is without any doubt is the corona. I understand you also are now distributing vaccine. I think you started before the US actually, or at the same time.
Yesterday
it dropped in Hamilton, Ontario, the vaccines, and then they're hoping to get some in Ottawa as well.
So how do you see this? I mean, not that you have the crystal ball, but are people willing to take this vaccine? There have been a lot of discussions in places that say, oh, it's not safe to take, and now we hear it's safe, and all the medical professionals are taking it. How do you feel? Will you take it?
I'm healthy. I don't feel like I need it.
I personally think it's an opinion. It's a change opinion for everyone. I have asked plenty of people, and it's a 50-50 of whether people want a vaccine or not. But the people who don't want a vaccine typically will say, I want to wait for everyone else to get it first.
Yes.
So
I guess
there is that lack of confidence in it because it's so new, and the possibility of so many side effects.
Yeah, and of course you have side effects with, I guess, with anything. People have been saying this about the flu shot, and for several years I didn't take the flu shot because I was worried about the side effects, but I've been taking it now for many years, never had any side effects. So hopefully it's the same thing. I mean, this is a monster virus. We need to keep it under control. And specifically for the travel and tourism industry, Israel came out with a very interesting approach in issuing, I think they call it a green passport, where people that actually got this vaccine can easily travel in and out of that country. And maybe that's something on the international and global basis what should be looked at. So people that are protected through the vaccine, there shouldn't be any reason for them to stop living life like we used to, right? What would also help the accommodation, the hospitality industry greatly. And if you look at many regions in the world, you run your hotel, you understand your challenges, and they must be tremendous like for anyone else. But look at other destinations, like even here in Hawaii, our industry is pretty much, we run it against a brick wall. And the Canadians, for instance, was also a very important market for us. Now, yes, we do allow Canadians also to come back with a certificate. It just started, I believe, but you don't really see tourism starting. So I'm hoping, and I don't know if you agree with the vaccine, this can maybe slowly change. And I don't know, it's all about education. And talking about education, we had her on our event last time, but I wanted to say another special welcome to Snow White, we call her. It's a professor from Snesana. She's joining us from Serbia. And as you know, what we're doing at WTN, we have our local chapters that I said are very important, but also their interest groups. And she agreed to run our new interest groups in regards to education. So I wanted to say hello to her again, and thank you for joining us.
Dobro večer.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Yeah, maybe.
I would like to ask you about your courses. How do you educate people who are working with you? Are you looking for people who finish special schools in hotel management or faculty of hotel management, or you prefer to have people who are good for you, and then you are giving them a special courses about how your hotels are working and such things? What do you prefer?
Asking me? Well,
Yes, please.
yeah, we are always short of staff in good times, not these days, because we laid off 65% of our staff are still laid off till the business pick up. But definitely in Canada, we are looking, it's a shortage of the professionals, because lots of hotels were built in last several years and lots more are under construction now. Some of them are stopped due to this crisis, but I'm sure when it comes back, we welcome people to Canada.
Yeah, and it's also, I mean, in regards to people, I know here in Hawaii, I don't know much about Burlington, but we've always been looking for people in the hospitality industry. There certainly weren't enough professionals. And I think this is a great opportunity for international exchange, international cooperation, also in the educational world and I know Marriott is doing it, Hyatt is doing it, Hilton is doing it. You see when you check into a hotel, people usually from all parts of the world working there. How is this done anyway? I was always wondering, do you have in your hotel people working from other countries? But maybe it's the wrong question to ask, but let's go to regular times.
In regular times, sometimes I've been with Hilton for 12 years before I semi-retired and built this hotel. So I got people from Romania, from Croatia, from Serbia. I had one of the very best chef came from Serbia.
Wow.
He's now in Saskatoon. They're suffering in a cold, but he was working for me for the Hilton Garden Inn. So I had a lady from Romania who was on exchange. I had young school members who came to 6 weeks. So we had quite a few in the last 15 years.
And that must be a great experience for people coming from different countries, whether it's Canadians working in overseas or people from other countries working in Canada or the US. I think this must be an experience for life, isn't it? I mean, especially for young people.
Yeah, they are all executive managers now in the country, and this guy is a big chef. And I start with Rosanne about in in March, and well, she started in January, but in March, when we closed down, she went through over 90 Marriott courses, and she would check in 16 people and get 15 temps. So we put her in sales and marketing. And I'm lucky. It was my lucky day.
And just to add on to Frank and Jürgen's point, to answer your question, Marriott as a whole also has a program, speaking about young students, it's called the Voyager program. It's a great opportunity. It's this 18-week intensive program where they allow from anywhere in the world you can apply to a destination for this program, and it's a hospitality program that allows you to become a manager, and they will put you through every department of a hotel so that you can learn truly every single aspect of the back end and the industry itself. By the time you're finished and you completed this program, which could be 12 to 18 months, actually, sorry, not weeks. You'll be able to get a certificate that gives you a note that says that you can only be a manager and above it's really a great opportunity because you go through that intensive training and it allows you to go anywhere in the world. So I hope that adds a little bit more to your question as well.
Yeah, and I hope Marriott is going to keep it like this. I never forget a presentation by Mr. Marriott Jr. many years ago in Washington, D.C. at the JW Marriott. There was the WTTC summit. And he said he would never hire a general manager from the spot. He much rather have someone who started in the kitchen cleaning dishes, who works his way up as a general manager. And I thought this was such a great statement to make. And it kind of, I have to say, it feels, without really naming other hotel groups, but I get the feeling in some countries where there is a lot of transient foreign workforce and people are hired from the top down, you get the feeling they don't really, many times, they don't take ownership of the job. I always had the feeling in Marriott hotels, people do take ownership and they identify themselves with the job. What is so important in the hospitality industry, to really be part of it and start from the very beginning. I don't know, is this still done? I know Marriott went through a lot of changes over the years. It's no longer just Mr. Marriott Jr., but now with Starwood coming into the picture, it's a completely different company. But is this still kind of the philosophy, you think?
Yes, it is. Senior Marriott is still around, and God bless him. He has such a spirit, and I met some of his family members, and they are amazing.
Right. No, he's a real icon of the industry, and I mean, what he built is just almost unbelievable in the hospitality industry. I don't know, last time he didn't have a microphone, but we have HM Hakim Ali attending, and Hakim is from Bangladesh. He is the head of the Bangladesh International Hotel Association, and also our new president for our chapter in Bangladesh. Can you hear us, Hakim? I know last time he couldn't hear us. Can you unmute yourself? So it looks like Bangladesh may have some audio problems. But anyway, welcome. Thanks for attending. And yeah, this is really a good discussion, I think. And we're learning a lot about your industry. So how do you predict the future now with the vaccine around? And do you think we're going to go back to the same normal, or do you think business will be different?
It's never going to be a same normal. The good old days are gone. But same like 9/11, they change us. We cannot travel same way. This is going to be again. But probably with these silly masks, we're going to be over after March or April, because I mean, lots of these doctors and some of the people don't agree with me, but I'm watching that across the world. And they say it causes more problem. Till we was mandatory to wear a mask, not many people got sick. Now they're getting more and more sick because they're putting these masks down on, they're touching things and then they put them back on their face. I learned in March when the doctor from New York said anything about the don't touch up unless you wash your hands. And that's what I'm doing. So thanks God, I'm healthy and no problem.
Yeah, and washing hands, of course, is the main key. And I mean, the wearing masks, I think it is important. And
Jürgen, the main key too is we it's by law that we wear masks as well. So we're really taking precautionary measures when it comes to that, especially in the hotel itself. We no matter what the opinion of people are, we do have to follow the rules. And if that means wearing a mask for the rest of the year, then it will be the case. But I think a positive outlook on this is that if the vaccine comes out, which it has, but it comes to us close enough, then there will be more consumer confidence to travel and to get out to different locations. And for our hotel, our property, and Marriott in general, we're well prepared, well equipped for the commitment to clean and guests coming to us.
In Canada, 65% people who died, they are over 70 years old in old age home and things. They had the other thing. The government give extra money when the hospital write down they die from COVID-19. And so, I don't know, people take advantage.
Yeah, no, of course you get this in America, but this is a serious situation. There is there is no room to maneuver, unfortunately. I don't think anyone wants to be in this situation. I haven't talked to anyone and said, oh, this is great, you know.
Right, yeah. And Jürgen, also to add on to that question, when we're joining in on franchise webinars and we're looking at, we're speaking to Marriott International, the recovery rate of this is 2024.
Right.
For us to go back to our occupancies and the same rates that it will take us a couple of years. And that was the same for any other, whether it would be SARS or the Spanish flu. It really took a huge hit on tourism in general. And we know that it's going to take us a while, but if we continue to do what we're doing, then we will get there faster.
Yeah, and hotels have been great hotel groups like Marriott, like I'm a Hyatt guy. I spent more than 100 nights in Hyatt hotels last year, but I'm also a Marriott guy. I'm a gold member with you guys too. And we all miss staying in hotels somehow. You know, I definitely miss travel. I haven't left this island since I got back from Berlin in March after the non-existing ITB. We all love to travel. And we just want it to be safe. We don't want to get sick. And we don't, you know, some people don't mind taking risk. I'm not one of them. I'm not overreactive, but if you invite me now to come to Ontario, I probably wouldn't be worried about staying in your hotel, but flying and traveling and getting into new regions is something you have to, I don't know, maybe not yet, but I'm really hoping, you know, this will change.
I got some quick comments. My son runs a company with 400 employees, and he says, you go back 4 or 5 months ago and nobody had COVID. You heard about it. It's all over the news, but you didn't have any friends that had COVID. Well, in the last 2 months, 3 people in his company, one guy played squash with another fellow whose son got it at school. And then that particular person was part of the executive team, and they're in a meeting a few hours later. So they all had to get tested for COVID. But a friend with a former company he was with in Houston spent 2 weeks in hospital. Another guy spent a week or so in his house. Someone else had it for 2 days. Their overall comment was, you don't want to get this. So be careful. So we want to watch this vaccine. I had a specific question, though, coming back to Frank and Roseanne. At the Western Canadian Lodging Conference, Canadian Hotel Investment Conference, Susie Greinall, the president of HAC, Hotel Association of Canada, said that the overall average occupancy rate across the country was 12%. How does that square with how you guys are doing? What kind of occupancy are you running in your hotel?
We are about 20.
20%? Okay.
Yeah, we went up in August, September, but again, we went down because the government says stay home. So how are you going to go up with the occupancy?
We're sitting at 20%, and so we're a little more thankful in that. But Toronto is sitting on single digits.
Right.
Most of the hotels there are not doing as well, and that is in part due to them being in lockdown and us being in a different stage of this.
A lot of their traffic would be corporate as well, but if you're 20%, then you're the ones that are raising the single digits up to 10% overall. So that's good. When I travel this summer, and I've just made this report I got 2 hotels in receivership right now that I'm brokering. I'm a part hotel owner, but I also sell hotels. And I made the comment that what we observed last summer in Penticton in BC was kind of for lack of a better term, not a very rigid COVID protection policy. One of them, by the way, was a Marriott hotel. I didn't identify that in my blog, but that's what it was. It was a brand new not Courtyard, one of the other brands. But the places were packed. They were very full. And my expectation is both with the COVID and then getting more used to the current regimes, you'll see the high occupancy again this summer, and that may translate into the fall. And going back to the overall requirement, my older sister lives in Perth, Australia, and we got back a reaction from her yesterday when I sent something out about what was happening here, saying, look, we're going to concerts, we're going to movies, we're going to restaurants, there's no masks, we're doing all these things. We don't have any cases. And the reason is the same as New Zealand. They just shut it down and shut it off, took care of the problem, and now they're open. I think because we live so close to the US, and there's some good reaction against being forced to take masks and forced to have vaccines. That's a good thing in the overall sense, but in the specific sense, it may not be so good. And I think we're more vulnerable. But certainly those countries have been able to weather this very well.
That's a very interesting comment, definitely. Maybe one more thing. I noticed you have meeting space. So your business is also, you're next to the convention center, I think you said. How do you see the meeting business now with everyone getting used to Zoom?
It's no meeting business because you allowed only 10 people.
Yeah, but how do you see it in the future?
I think our meeting space has been fully dependent on what the government's response has been. So there has been a trend with when we have loosened the government has loosened restrictions, then we have people coming in and inquiring about meeting space. And then when they've gone down, we've seen a sudden decrease in calls. But in the short run, we've been getting inquiries about smaller meetings, and what we're seeing now and what Marriott's establishing is more hybrid meetings where we have executives of a company coming into the room, to the meeting space, and us providing all the technical, the Zoom and the projectors so that they can communicate with the rest of the team, but all while social distancing and having everything prepared around them. So they don't have to do any work, but they also get to meet together and still stay safe.
And of course, people on Zoom, they eat at home. They don't eat at your hotel. So it's a challenge as well. Well, we see where this goes. But I think the interaction, people still want to meet each other. They still want to see to each other's eye. But also companies will look at the bottom line. And Zoom has opened up so many doors in a good way and in a bad way. I mean, now we're coming together, and in one day, I mean, we're going to from Africa to Canada to South America, and tonight to the Himalayas. You cannot do this in real travel time. But then again, it's only what you see on your computer. It's not really the real thing. But it hopefully, it helps us through the time until we get back to some kind of a normality, whatever it will be and whenever it will be. Are there any more questions from anyone right now? I don't see any hands, but I wanted to thank you for your outline. It was very interesting. I learned a lot, and I really wish you all the best for your hotel. It looks like you have some excellent people at the Courtyard in Burlington, and it's a place definitely I will visit when I have a chance to get to Toronto. And any last thoughts?
Well, we're looking forward, and thank you for your continuous support. We know each other for many years, and
yes.
You've been supporting this industry, and you are one of the icons in our tourism. You were helping us many times, so I really appreciate you giving us this opportunity.
No, we all have to help each other, I think.
And thank you for everyone else that's on this call as well. We appreciate you listening in, and hopefully you got to learn a little something about the tourism industry.
Thank you very much. And I wanted to remind everyone we have, as I said, 2 more events coming up today and many more between now and the end of the month. Just go to wtn.travel, click on the red lounge event link or on the blue banner, and you join us directly. If you listen to us online, it's more fun because you can ask questions and we have you part of the discussion. But if not, just keep on watching on eTopo News and live stream. And hopefully, if you haven't joined WTN as a member yet, please do so. Go to WTN.travel and we make it worth your while. I can say only aloha from Hawaii. Good day, good afternoon to Toronto, and to Serbia. We have Bermuda, Bangladesh, and I don't know, I probably left a few destinations out, but we're a real international team, and that makes it a lot of fun. And hopefully we see you again in a few hours at our next event. Take care.